call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Boda.
Here.
Mr. Patsalis.
Here.
Cram here. Mr. Simons.
Here.
Mr. Knotts, Mr. Horn, and Mr. Blackstock are excused.
Okay, if you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, Steve.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're moving on to approving the agenda. Did you want to add that?
Yeah, we need to approve the minutes for August 1st and the closed session from August 1st.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of what Dee just said about the closed session.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the agenda with adding closed session minutes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next, we have public comment. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to talk about anything other than what's on the agenda? This is probably where you should get up and talk about it. Is that what you're here for, about the burning? Now would be the time for you to get up and state your name and your address, and we can discuss it.
My name is Michael Bremerkamp. I live at 624 Hathaway in East China. And I came in and talked to you about some problems that I think we're having with smoke in the fall here, with people burning leaves, wet leaves smoldering. Like I said, I've gone up. I have problems breathing that. It gets to me really bad, and I leave my house a lot. And I come back, and in the fall, I've gone up to 3rd and Vine Street in St. Clair, and I look back over this area, and you can see a layer of smog covering this area. And, you know, in our times right now with, the environmental problems that we have with industry, it seems funny that the residents of a township would do that to each other. And I've asked about some regulation on it, so that I wouldn't have to leave my home or constantly call a fire department. I've called the fire department before. They said it was a nuisance and they would ask people to put it out. But they come out, and there have been a few times where they come out and I'd get in my car and leave, and I come back 3 hours later and the smoke is still covering my home. So we need water to be put on it. We don't need somebody to come there and stand there and watch it burn to make sure it doesn't get out of control. I need the fire to be put out so I can live in my home. And I'm asking the board to consider some resolution so we'd have some teeth.
Yeah, I think, and I talked with them, what, about a week ago?
No, about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago? Maybe we could make some kind of where you can't burn leaves and stuff in your yard so many feet from a house or something like that.
Well, see, the problem is I rake mine up and I bag them and I put them out for the road, but I have a hard time going out in my yard and doing that when people are covering me with smoke. And even if you don't see visible smoke in somebody's yard, it's dense here, and there's a gradient there. The particulate matter's still there, even though you don't see it. You're breathing it. So that's all I'm asking, is for the board to consider some action that would make it livable for everyone here.
I know we had a discussion on the open burning a few months back, but it wasn't about the leaves. We just had a discussion about open burning because, again, there were some people that were living up on, right off of Francis and Urban, that people were burning and it was going right in their bedroom windows and everything.
Well, that's what I had.
And leaves, though, I think is a different animal.
Smoke,
Yeah, it's just smoke. I mean, they light those things and that burns almost half the day. I mean, they're just smolder.
Well, like he said, they're wet leaves and they just start them on fire and they just
I
smolder for days.
I don't have a problem with a recreational fire where you would have a campfire, dry wood.
Right.
Put it on there, but when you burn stuff that has a lot of moisture in it, it doesn't get a complete burn, and it just covers you. It's horrible. And there are some people that like to do that because they've always done it, but I think, in a densely populated area, it's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, a lot of places, I drive all around and I don't see anywhere that's like here.
Larry, could we take a look at, and maybe see what other municipalities are doing?
Well, I was
or
gonna
something
talk
like
to
that?
Chief Westrick, but he's been on medical leave.
Okay.
He's just, in fact, he came to the fire the other night, but,
Yeah.
I'll be talking to him, because St. Clair does have a birding ordinance. And I was gonna see what that looks like.
There are still people that, even if you have an ordinance or a rule, there are people that are gonna still go out there and think, well, this is okay, and I have to do this and everything. And I don't mind, if I have to tolerate something for one day, I can leave for one day possibly. But when it gets to be, this person's burning today, and then this person's burning the next day, and this person's burning the next day, and then it comes back over
It's
here.
every day then.
Yeah. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for coming
Thank
in.
you.
Thank you. I don't know why you don't use patio like that one.
We have trash pickup.
Well, that
We have,
doesn't get
We have leaf and
grass and leaf pickup, why don't they use them?
Yeah, you just can't put them in plastic. You gotta put them in the paper
In
bag.
paper
You can
bags,
bag it.
correct.
Yeah,
But we
you
could
get-
check with, like you said, check with the fire, see what
Yeah.
they have.
And I wrote it down here again, so,
You can get on the hijacks down there and buy a six-pack bags.
but I think it's, different people I've talked to, that some of them have like 300 to 400 feet from a structure, which would get it away from you. I mean, the chances of it going to your house would be slim, but I don't know how far away these people are that are burning around you.
Well, I've seen smoke, I've seen it
Oh,
travel
yeah.
1,000 feet down to the railroad tracks, but it's not so dense by the time it gets there. If you've got a structure, 300 feet from you or so, and the wind's blowing your way, you're covered with smoke. You can't open your windows. And I close my windows indoors, and it still gets in the house when you're covered with it for 6 hours.
And you said your daughter too has it too,
Well,
don't you?
my granddaughter.
Granddaughter, okay. Yeah, we'll look into it then. Is that all you had then, Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments? Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. We have the C1, the July 2016 Building Department Report. We have C2 is the July 7th, 2016 Beautification Committee Minutes. We have C3 is the July 2016 Marine City Fire Report. We have C4 is the August 3, 2016 Historical Commission Minutes. C5 is the May 2016 St. Clair Fire Report. C6 is the April 2016 St. Clair Fire Report. C7 is the July 2016 Investment Income Report. And C8 is the July 2016 Revenue and Expenditure Report.
If there are no questions on the consent agenda, I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next, we have disbursements. We have invoices of $68,885.91. We have accounts payable of $116,575.69. We have a payroll of $13,075.92. We have payroll direct deposit of $12,837.44. We have the EFT accounts, which was $10,566.57. And we have the tax account of $146,648.49, for a total disbursement of $368,590.02.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills in the amount of $368,590.02.
I support.
It's been moved and supported that we pay the bills in the sum of $368,590.02. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Pitsalis?
Yes.
Mr. Boda?
Yes.
Graham, yes. Mr. Horn?
Mr. Simon?
Or Mr. Simons? I'm sorry.
Yes. Motion passed, we pay the bills. As you see, we have no new business and no old business for this meeting. So we're moving on to announcements. The township offices will be closed September the 5th for the Labor Day. The Township Board will hold the next regular meeting on Tuesday, September the 6th. That's the day after Labor Day, 2016. Couple things I'd like to say under announcements. I'd like to thank all of our employees that contributed to helping with the fire at the Detroit Edison plant. It was a terrible thing that caught on fire. I guess all we can do is just support them the best we can, and our employees went above and beyond. They got in here right away, they got pumps going. The DPW got in, got the valves flushed and opened for the St. Clair and Marine City, which we opened and used. And everybody really worked together. St. Clair worked with us, Marine City worked with us, Detroit Edison worked with us. Haven't heard anything what they're doing over there. I think they're still assessing what's going on. So I just want to give a thank you to all of our employees. They did a lot. And the other thing I want to talk about, do we still want to do the flu shots at the hospital like we've done for the last 10, 12, 14 years?
How many did we have, do you know how many participants we had in the last couple of years or last year? Or?
The most we've ever paid is around 1,200. That was a couple of years ago. I think last year was only 600. Sandy's got the head count there. I can get it for you if you would rather have it. We still have time in it.
That's in the fall?
Yeah, it's usually October. But they sent us a letter, want to know if we wanted to still participate in it. I can put it on the agenda and I'll get the head count for next time.
It's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. Okay, and with that, that's all I have on the announcements. Moving on to member comments, Mr. Pasalis.
I just have a couple things. One is the gentleman that's doing our fire hydrants. I'm seeing fire hydrants that I didn't even know we had, because they're so yellow that they're spotting out at you. I think he's doing a wonderful job. I mean, you can see them all through town now, and he's getting out there. And the other thing I'd like to just discuss and just throw out to the board just to see how they feel about it, and I don't know how we go about it, but other municipalities, when it comes election time, they always have a staggered election. East China's election, we're all up at the same time. It has its pros and it has its cons. I mean, a good thing is that we're all together for 4 years, so we can work together, we can get stuff on and off our plate, because we're together. On the bad side is, if a couple of people decide to resign or not run again, and a couple of people get beat, we could get 4 or 5 people that are gonna be transferred right away, and it would make it difficult for the people that are left on the board. And again, this is just something I'm putting out there to see how the board feels about it. Because there,
I think,
for charter townships,
well, for any township, when they run their elections, this way they all end at the same time. Check into it, but I heard,
Okay.
I heard it was a state law, I don't know, possibly.
okay.
It
And again, it was
should
just
be-
something I just put out for discussion. It's not,
No, it
I
should
don't
be
have
like
I mean, I wouldn't
I'll
sway
check with the
either way.
MTA and see if that is a dual. I've often agreed with that too, because the whole board could be gone and you could have 7 people come in here that don't know anything,
Don't know what's
of
going
what's
on.
going on.
Right. I mean, even if you have 4 or 5, if you have the majority leave, then.
Well, even if you had
put
2
them-
of the trustees were staggered,
Yes,
you'd
right,
have some continuity there on
right.
the board.
And again, the benefit is that we're together for 4 years, so we all know what's going on, everything, we're all in the same sequence, and we get a lot off our plates right away. But on the other hand, like you said, if 4 or 5 people leave, it's gonna be a little bit of a strain on the people that are remaining.
I agree.
I'll check that with the MTA and see if
Yeah,
that's,
I agree with everything Angelo said, so.
That's all I had.
okay. Mr. Boda?
I have a couple of items. One is I'd like to, as you mentioned already, I'd like to thank the DPW for working, up to 24 hours, the day of the fire and the night of the fire, for getting everything set up to start drawing water from Marine City and from St. Clair. And they spent.
Our water department was here too.
Yeah,
Our
water department.
operators and
Okay, the
supervisors.
operators.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard a DPW, okay, but I'm sure the water department's involved. I'd like to thank all them folks for, the employees for getting into it and taking care of all that. And secondly, I'd like to give my thanks to all the first responders and the fire departments and the firefighters that responded. They did a great job, and I know it was a tough day, tough night with the humidity the way it was, and but staying there and fighting there all evening and all night to fight that fire. I'd like to thank them for that. And one other thing is, I brought it up in the past once mildly, but knowing that the Edison sometime between now and 2023 is good, it's supposed to close down. And if that's the case, I think we're going to start looking for other sources of taxation to help make up for some of the loss we're going to get. And I'm thinking that, I don't know what the planning commission has rezoned Recore Road from Park to Point Drive. If that used to be a single-family residential zoning at one time. And I don't think anybody wants to build a home who's going to sit there and look at a coal pile. My idea was, is we got all the infrastructures there to put a light industrial park there for maybe 3 or 4 buildings that could be built there. Everything's there, the water, the sewer.
I think the only part that's residential would be the part the township owns there. Because the rest of it is down Park Road is B.
But I just
B2.
mean on Record, up to, from Park up to
Okay.
Drive. Yeah, if it's feasible and all our infrastructure's there, to look at maybe putting some kind of a light industrial type deal there, like up the Ave up on Boucher Highway in Marysville, those buildings they have along Boucher Highway. And
So you're saying between M29 and between M29 and Point Drive on Recore Road?
yeah, well, Park Street, actually, From Park.
Park, oh, okay.
Yeah, Park Road up to Point. I'm not saying it's going all the way to Point Drive. They might be able to do something different about Point Drive, but I'm sure they can get 3 or 4 type of
Okay,
businesses in there. But that's just, looking in the future, we're gonna need some more revenue in the future, and
right.
I think that's one way of getting it, so.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Good,
all I have. Thank you.
Dee?
I just want to go along with the rest of the board in thanking everybody who worked for the Edison Fire, our employees, the first responders. I know they had to have been just, I can't even imagine. You could see it, we were coming from Port Huron, and you could see it
That's where we're going,
From-
to see it, yeah.
from the north end.
Yeah.
The
I was
smoke.
at the other end, I was in Algonac, and you could see it from Algonac.
Okay, that's it. And I'd also like to reiterate, thank you to all our neighboring fire departments. We belong to 2 fire authorities, the St. Clair Fire Authority, who has the jurisdiction of the plant. They took over, the assistant fire chief took over. I thought he did a great job, from what I seen of it. And then Marine City responded. We had them from Macomb, Lapeer, Sarnia. There was a lot of responders.
Marysville.
Well, all of St. Clair County was toned out. But yet, the fire department still, they held stuff back to protect the rest of the county. You just can't send all your trucks and then have a fire at somebody's house and nobody comes.
Yeah.
So I thought they did a really good job of coordinating it all. As did our people. I mean, we coordinated, we couldn't pump out of the river right away because they were concerned about,
Stuff right.
the wash water that was going onto the fire might go into the river. So, but I think it all was contained within the basement. So, with that, I have nothing else, so I guess a motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn at 7:50.
Okay.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we adjourn at 7:50. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.